After 110 matches of grueling FIFA action, here we are in the playoffs. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the eISL powered by Coca Cola. Before we have this event started off, a huge shout out to our associate partners, Hero Esports Partners, Nordwind Gaming, our platform partners, PlayStation, and our digital collectibles partners, Terra Virtua, for making this event happen. And finally, joining along with me is, as always, Azeeb. And mixed emotions. How are you feeling?
Oh, just can't wait to get kicked off. It's finally here. This is the battle that we've been looking forward to since November, and it's a huge. It's been a great storyline so far, and of course, let's take our viewers through what just went on in that league stage. It's been 4 months of grueling action, and of course, we see that SCEB Bengal, Chennai FC, Mumbai City FC, and FC Goa have made it through to the finals, and it's so exciting. Was close for Bengaluru FC and Northeast United FC, but in the end, these are the top four, the best, the most consistent teams, and of course, it's now a double elimination format to see how these guys are gonna fight it out.
Oh yes, and that is where it really gets exciting, right? I mean, there were so many matches, there were so many competitors, and you just can't rule out any. And that was the only reason why I said, mixed emotions, because there's so many teams that are not going to be here. But for the ones that have made it, well, let's take a look at the brackets to see who's going up against who. Like we've already discussed, right? They have been seeded, and for the first seed that we have is SCEB Bengal. They're going to be heading up against FC Goa in the first matchup that we have for you guys. Later on, of course, we are going to be having our second matchup where we do have the second and third seeded teams in the form of Chennai FC and Mumbai City FC going up against each other. Now, whoever wins this heads on directly to the upper brackets over here, and then the losers over here, they head on towards the lower brackets, and the winners of the upper bracket finale would be directly heading into the grand finals, and whoever is the loser of the upper bracket final heads on towards playing the winners of the lower bracket in the lower bracket finale. So it's a double elimination format,
Yeah.
and if we've got to explain it in layman language, each team gets two chances to survive.
Yeah, absolutely. And survive they must, because there's a huge prize pool at stake. Of course, a total of 78 lakh rupees was on the line. And of course, the first place does get that massive prize of 15 lakh rupees, the biggest prize for any FIFA tournament in India so far. And plus, there's also those MVP stakes, that nice chunk of change, 4 lakh rupees, plus your own personalized NFT by Terra Virtua. So plenty on the line, plenty of motivation, and of course that battle for the top four places, the top four goal scorers for the MVP stakes, also is really hotting up.
Oh yes, but this is what we were talking about, right? The race for the most valuable player in the tournament, of course, being led by Ankit Gupta with 50 goals being scored already. And Shagnik, of course, that was an end of run for Bengaluru FC. So we're not going to be seeing him anymore. But this is a chance for Naveen and Saransh to catch up. And they've got just 3 goals that they need to score in the next matchup ahead of Ankit Gupta to make sure that they're the ones also contesting for those 4 lakh rupees and that Terra Virtua MVP postcard. But now let's take a look at the fixtures, because this matchup has also happened in the past and the storylines were different, but today anything can possibly change. It's the pressure that's being built up, and quite interestingly, Azeem, Ankit Gupta going up against Afnan, and we do have Beno7 going up against V Sharma. Now what's your take on that?
It does look like they're going with their standard lineups, shall we say, because it always has been Afnan going the first game and V Sharma then taking game two. Similarly for SCEB Bengal, Ankit Gupta likes to be the guy who goes first, and of course there's Beno7 there, who has been picking up the pieces of late. Ankit not quite getting the results that he was looking for, but it's a tall order today for FC Goa. Again, a team not in the best of form, shall we say, of late. A very bad time to lose your form, but the good news for them is that even if they do lose today, it's not over because of that double elimination format. And let's have a look now what happened the last 2 times that these two teams met. It's been pretty close. It was, of course, a very close game between Afnan and Beno7. 5-4 it was that day. And Ankit absolutely smashing V Sharma. And a very close battle in the co-op. Just about shading it there at the end. SCEB Bengal in the first time. And Second time got a little bit more interesting as well.
Oh yeah, and the second time, this is where we came up with a change-ups in in their fixtures. We did have Ankit this time going up against Afnan, which sort of ended in a goalless draw, and such a huge achievement, right? This from here onwards, we did start to see the sort of a downfall of Ankit in the sense that he was really explosive before, and suddenly he was not that ferocious. But Beno 7 again being one of those players that has always been really constant, really sturdy for his team, making sure he got that victory against V Sharma. Now, V Sharma, of course, one of the FIFA Indian greats that we do have. So, of course, a lot on the line, a lot of pressure for this young Afnan going up against Ankit Gupta, who usually just plays FIFA for fun. But from what we could just see from his faces right now, I think he's also the one feeling the heat.
Yeah, and all the smiles and the laughter and all of that from the end of the league stages, that's all gone now. It's all super serious, it's all super intense now, and you can see the pressure is on the players. Afnan still managing a little bit of a smile there in the background, but well, Ankit has played best when he's not been under pressure, and
Yes.
Afnan has tended to get the results in the big games despite not having those prolific goal scoring figures that Ankit does, of course, bring to the table. But here we go. It's finally official. It's finally live. The finals of the eISL are underway. And oh my goodness, this is going to be an absolute classic.
Oh yes, absolutely. And before we just get started off, a quick recap for all the new viewers out there from left to right. It is, of course, going to be SC's Bengal in their signature home jersey, and we do have FC Goa from right to left in their white. But looking at how it has really begun, it's Ankit Gupta who is completely determined to be the first one scoring the goal over here, trying to form an attack. But from what we could really see, that he's already given the ball away not just once but twice.
Yeah, Ankit giving that ball away not under any major pressure as well. So maybe it's just that little initial nerves that he's trying to get out of the way. We've seen a lot of nice experimental lineups, a lot of tribute teams over the last few days, but now everybody back to their meta picks. It's all the Hullits and the Peles and the Ronaldos and the Mbappes and the Messis all back in there. We've seen Afnan score a lot of those long range shots, and there he's going to queue up one again with Messi and forces the stop from Van der Sar. That has been Afnan's go-to tactic in this latter half of the season. Messi with the cross now, the header cleared away, and Ankit now can get away on the counter-attack.
Oh, absolutely. And this is such a good chance now. He's definitely wanting to build up a few players out there. Has to look forward to Eusebio, but could not receive it quite as he had really anticipated. So considering how the things have been, Afnan, I really thought that, he would be feeling those nerves. But he's the one who's taking charge. He's the one who's taking control of the game, being the one trying to put that extra added pressure on towards Ankit Gupta. And somewhere down the line, if he manages to score in the next 10-15 minutes, that is where we might see some sweat, coming out. And that is going to be an alarming concern. As Afnan, I think, is looking really confident. I think that little bit of a gap that he had, he's done some preparations, he's done those homeworks, as he has a perfect chance to strike, and he does though, but the keeper makes the save.
Yeah, I think the pass to Pele for that shot was a bit unnecessary. I think he could have just taken that shot on first time, but of course, with the level of quality that the keepers do have in this game, sometimes you're just that little bit afraid of taking the shot across the keeper, not knowing if that will go in. Of course, with CR7, if he had maybe a Neymar in there with that 5-star weaker foot, maybe he would have gone for it. But now Ankit looking to make him pay for that hesitation and in for the shot. But is that offside? No, it is onside. And Ankit, of course, the corner set piece specialist. What does he have up his sleeve now? With Kante, puts that ball into the box. It's Hullet, but Donnarumma gets there before he can.
Yeah, just yesterday, we did see Imad pulling off that whammy out of nowhere with Messi, an iconic corner kick goal directly just going inside. And you never know, in the playoffs we might be susceptible. Even in the match against Lokmanu, we could see that Lokmanu did really read that out, his goalkeeper positioning a little bit, and gave it towards a beautiful header on towards CR7, managing to score a goal over there. But for now, Afnan again back on his attack, finds Hullet. He's got to find some other person does find in the form of Mbappe, gives it back towards Pele, and he's playing really composed FIFA, right? He's not making any wrong moves. He's making sure all the passes are done exactly the way they're supposed to. A little bit of a slip up, and now Ankit needs to find the breakthrough.
Yeah, and this is where, of course, Ankit can be so deadly, but trying to get forward now, well defended by Afnan, just about gets away with that. And of course, these are the eISL finals. You can also catch the Hero ISL finals. The second legs, of course, are coming up. We have on the 15th of March, which is tomorrow. We have Kerala Blasters FC up against Jamshedpur FC. Kerala Blasters, of course, have that slender 1-0 lead from the first leg, and they'll be hoping to double down on that against Jamshedpur FC, who of course finished in the top position. Ankit going for the shot, and surprisingly, the White didn't get the timing on the shot.
Oh yes, and this is it. That is what we're talking about, right? When it was league stages, you knew you had 20 games, but every single game, every single shot matters. And for what we have seen so far, I must say, it has been an Afnan half. Ankit Gupta being the one who's been trying to capitalize on the counter attacks, has managed to finally take a few shots and not really connecting. But somewhere down the line, we are going to be seeing the dreadlock being broken between these two gentlemen out here. Pele passing on towards Ronaldo, a possible good chance, tried to dribble across, but Varane making sure it does not go anywhere, as now Ankit is back on his attack.
Yeah, supreme confidence there by Afnan to even think about attempting a rainbow flick over there in the eISL final elimination match. But yeah, it's I think it's the right strategy to use against a player like Ankit, to go on the offensive, make him uncomfortable, don't let him play the game on his terms. But of course, we've seen players do this in the past. They've dominated Ankit Gupta for maybe a half, but just that one lapse in concentration, that one mistake, that one moment of brilliance from Ankit, it can all change this game on its head. And is it coming here? A very, very bad slip over there. A bit of fortune for Ankit and not able to capitalize on it. And Afnan will breathe a sigh of relief and now try to get up the other end himself. Good quick passing in between the midfielders and the attackers. Now has Mbappe on the run on that left flank. Chooses not to use him. I think he was hoping the defender would go with him to free up space for Pele to build that play. And playing it cool, playing it calm over here, waiting for that 45-minute mark to strike and try and get that goal at the stroke of halftime.
Oh yeah, I mean, just this previous attack of Ankit Gupta, I really felt that he could have gone for a shot then and there only. The fact that he's going for the passes, maybe he's doubting himself, and these are the things that we've been talking about. This time, a long play through that left wing with CR7. Wanted to head in, get that cutback, but no, said Hakimi, as we have reached to the half time. And this is where it really gets interesting, right? You could clearly see that Ankit Gupta is feeling a lot more conscious than he ideally does, right? Always there's a smile on his face, but today somehow it has just vanished. It's not visible. SC Bengal Azim, somewhere down the line, they are feeling the heat.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to say Afnan has done pretty well over here. This
100%.
one particularly, going for that pass over there, you would have thought that maybe he would go for the shot. Afnan had his moment as well, where instead of taking the shot, went for the pass, and then that low-driven shot using Pele was very easy for the keeper to deal with. Just did not have the conviction in behind it. But last time these two players met, it was a 0-0, but not a lot of chances really created. It was a sort of a war of attrition, with neither player really looking to take any chances. But of course, you have to take the initiative over here. Taking risks will be rewarded in the finals. And you can see Ankit over there tempted to go with the high press. But again, just checking himself and saying, you know what, this is a big game. If I get exposed in my midfield, Afnan could get that goal. And now Afnan on the edge of the box, trying one trick too many, you would have to say over there. And will be susceptible on the counter-attack. Ankit loves that long ball in behind defense. He's getting Hakimi forward. Now we'll look to find Mbappe in behind, but well read there by Afnan again. And looking to now combine with Hullet and CR7 to get him up the pitch. Had the opportunity to play Mbappe in down that left flank, elected not to take it. And slowing that game down just a little bit. And Ankit's fullback a little out of position. Or maybe a deliberate ploy to just get the fullback a little bit more central when Messi gets on the ball to prevent that shot being taken.
But right now, Ankit does have the possession. Has gone for a run with Kante. He has got to beat the defender over there, and it's got to be Ruben Diaz. well, has managed to do so. And now Afnan is back on another attack of his own. So what we've seen so far is a back and forth attempt by these two gentlemen trying to, figure out a way to score, but none of them have really succeeded. Now, the defensive areas that we could see where Ankit was so exposed against Lokmanu finally has been sealed out, and he's making sure that he's not letting anyone pass through. But this could all change with this little move from Afnan's side, with Pele is going to take a shot, but no.
Well, I think over there, maybe the shot with CR7 might have been a good option because we've seen particularly players like Akash from Jamshedpur illustrating the fact that that right foot shot, the chop back finesse
Yeah.
from CR7, left foot, right foot, doesn't matter. It just always seems to fly into that top corner. And oh, this is a good opportunity now. Ankit exposed on defense. Again, a
Oh,
touch too many. He needed to cut that back earlier and doesn't even get a corner out of it. And Afnan has had 2 or 3 big moments over here. Might have another one as well. Has to capitalize surely on this. And again gives it away.
oh my goodness. I mean, on any other day, had it been Akash Ashby over there, he would have clearly gone for that shot. But regardless, it's Afnan who's going to be playing in the playoffs, as Ankit really needs to capitalize on this little flinch from his side as he tried to go in. But Afnan really looking strong on his defenses. But this could all change over here. But no, this is all the drama that's building up. And finally, keeping the ball out of harm's way. Still, the danger remains, that press coming in. But
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know right now if this is just mad composure from Afnan or just almost borderline craziness what he's doing over here. Just playing that ball. It's so risky to keep playing that ball around the back. He's got really out of jail with it, and he's let Ankit out of jail a couple of times as well. Afnan really should have been capitalizing on those chances, and now, having been the dominating player in this game, if he doesn't get the win here, I think he's going to be very, very disappointed because it could be a huge, huge step towards those finals. Now with CR7 has to take that shot on again. Elects to not pull the trigger. The defender was never getting there. He had to take that shot. Could have even got a corner. And now these are the chances for Ankit Gupta to get in behind. This is why he's so deadly. Mbappe with that cross will look to get inside, but Afnan reads it well. Defensively, he's been solid and occasionally suicidal, shall we say, but he's surviving. And now 75 minutes on the clock. It's been a very, very tasty second half. Chances galore for both teams. In fact, you would have to say Afnan being the person creating the chances for both teams, for himself and Ankit with his strange defensive decisions. And now getting forward with Hullet, doesn't have anybody to cross the ball into in the box, and there you go, gives it up in the midfield, slightly exposed again.
yeah, and one thing that we've noticed about Ankit Gupta this time is playing a lot of long balls, right? Something that he was not doing yesterday and the matches before. He was relying on those cutbacks, and this time it is something different. But still has been holding on to the possession. But Ruben Diaz, being the Messiah for Afnan, he's been making so many of those crucial interceptions out there, and this is such a good counter-attacking opportunity, and Afnan needs to score, has to get that cutback, but no, not happening as we're heading in. This is a moment, I would usually take a pause, rethink what you're trying to do, just calm down, get hydrated, because these 10 minutes of in-game time will decide or will set the momentum for the next game to come.
Yeah, and again, I think for FC Goa, one of the things that has really been lacking from their game since day one is just this complete reluctance to cross the ball. I think in a situation like that, we've seen Ankit particularly time and time again get in there with a player like Mbappe and just cross that ball in, because CR7 is going to win all of those headers. And again, just unwilling to do that. Now with R9, he has Messi in there as well. What's he going to do? Can potentially cross then. He has Hullet in the box as well. Again, elects not to. Goes back to Hakimi. And that little bit of lack of decision from Afnan over here is really, really costing him. It could well end up 0-0. It could even end up being a 1-0 to Ankit if it doesn't go his way. But really, Afnan should be winning this game, and he will be kicking himself if the result eventually leads to FC Goa not winning this matchup.
Oh yeah, I mean that would be, really sad, because if we do not get to see any goals being scored at the very
Oh,
least, right? But there we've been privy to those last minute heart attacks, right? And we've just got to see who's going to be that one player who finally out on all those nerves, as this could be that potential break that they were talking about. Ankit Gupta with Mbappe trying to pace in from that right wing, initially slows down, does not find enough men on the support, passes it back towards Kante, towards Hullet, gives it to Messi, and this is a very good pass. Ronaldo is going to take the shot. Ankit Gupta. Oh my goodness, Azim. Is he going to be kicking himself in the legs after this?
oh my goodness, he was handed that chance on a platter. Still might be there. It's cleared away by Afnan. Just kick that ball out. It's over. No, he allows Ankit to go, but the referee blows the whistle. And Afnan, oh my goodness me, he's been through all those waves of emotions, from almost winning it to then almost losing it at the end. And the keeper bails him out. The big hand from Donnarumma over there, when you would have put your house on Ankit Gupta scoring over there from that position, but no, was denied. And a pulsating 0-0 draw yet again between these two players comes to an end. And now it's over to V Sharma and Shayantan, and you can see the madness going on in the defense for Afnan over there.
Oh God! I mean, what do we take from this? I mean, are we going to be seeing another goalless matchup? Because this is sort of a reminiscence of the past when they went up against each other, right? Afnan really held Ankit Gupta to a draw over there, but a draw is something that either of the teams would not want at this point. And indeed, that has happened. But overall, if we can talk about it, we did see a few changes in how Ankit Gupta was really attempting to play today. He was playing a lot around the sides, right? He was going for those long passes, but we could not see that sort of a Ankit Gupta flair was kind of missing today, Azim.
Yeah, it just wasn't really his day, and we haven't seen that flair in a long time. It has to be said. We did see again, like the bulk of the chances that Ankit created were those situations of him getting in and attempting that cutback, and we did see the same with Afnan as well, where they got into good positions, but the decision making at the end just was not working. But here we go, it's extra time, and it's still just continuing this war of attrition.
Going on now, we're looking at this matchup. Who is going to be giving up? This is going to be so important, going over here right now. Who's going to break the first? Who's going to make that first big mistake? They've made so many mistakes, but that mistake hasn't really been capitalized from the teams. And this time, Afnan would want to change things around with Pele. He's going to take a shot, go for it, goes for it, still has the possession on Mbappe. Can he do that? No.
Yeah, well, he gets it out with the nutmeg from Mbappe, and now who'll win that ball? A very key win over there with Hakimi, with now Gullit slightly exposed up the field. The through ball taking the player much wider, and oh my goodness, Afnan over there just losing that little bit of composure as the first half of extra time now coming to an end. It's just a couple of minutes of in-game time to go, and could we potentially, the way this is going, it looks like this might be settled on a penalty shootout.
Oh, that is something that I think even the fans would love. But this is a perfect time for to ask all our viewers, who do you think is going to come out through? Who do you think is going to win this matchup? Is it going to be SC Bengal, or is it going to be FC Goa? Because Afnan has been showing those attacking instincts with Pele again, just missing out, and there you have it.
Whew. Oh my goodness, my heart is beating right now. I think I need to get hydrated because it's just. If the score is 0-0, but the pressure and the tension is just absolutely through the roof right now. It's just absolutely crazy. And now, looks like there's a little bit of a game plan involved over here. Ankit Gupta making some changes over there. Of course, 3 substitutions would have been made now. I think you are allowed to make that 4th substitution post the 90 minutes, because the players will definitely be a bit low on stamina. We see Pele on for R9 over there for Ankit Gupta, and no changes for FC Goa. I think Afnan is happy with the way his game is set up. But here we go. It's so tight. Of course, the first extra time that we've had the privilege of watching in the eISL, because everything in the league stages ended in 90 minutes. But now I mean, there's a potential for all three games to be decided on penalties. That's how close and cagey it can get over here.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness! But Afnan is looking like the most likely player to score. He's had Ankit under pressure all game, but it's these cheap giveaways that he really has to avoid, because you'd rather just end 0-0 than throw it away. And he's almost thrown it away in the 90th minute over there. This time manages to keep the ball. And yeah, you do wonder now. It's such a big gamble. Do you just wait and hold it out and say, you know what, let's just take a gamble and take it to penalties? I'm sure these guys will have been practicing their penalties and their saves and working on a few mind games and tactics as well. But it's just 5 minutes of in-game time left now with Mbappe. Does he have the option? This time beats his man. Now, big opportunity for Afnan with the cutback and the ball into the top corner. Afnan strikes in extra time. The goal has been coming for ages, and it's taken 115 minutes to break that deadlock. Now, Ankit Gupta, what do you got?
Oh, we are game on, Azim. And Afnan is not celebrating. He is not counting the chickens too early. And for now, he's has to just hold on for the next remainder of whatever time remains over here. But look at this, finally finding that cutback at the right spot, giving it towards Ronaldo. And Ankit Gupta's defense was just watching astray. And this is exactly what FC Goa needed at this point, thankfully, because you would not want to ideally head over to the penalty shootouts, because then it all comes down to probabilities, it all comes down to that, if you are hitting the right buttons, then you're scoring a goal, or else nothing's gonna go after that. So again, really good goal coming in from FC Goa, but now SC's Bengal, they were looking to find that little bit of a break, but this is where, had I been Afnan, this is the time that I need to hog on possession as much as I can. And that is indeed his intention. The goalkeeper coming way out of his line.
Yeah, 1 minute of extra time. I think Afnan would have been better served to just hold on to possession and waste a little bit of time, because here comes Ankit Gupta. Last chance now. Ball has to come into the box. It is going to land to Hakimi, but no. The other Hakimi clears it out. It is a big win for Afnan Amin over here. Gets that job done in a high blood pressure, high octane match over there. You can see V Sharma managing a bit of a smile, but Afnan, there's got to be adrenaline pumping through him right now.
Yeah, I think this is where he can, I think, settle down. Maybe if this matchup goes into a co-op, then we're going to see a more better version of Afnan. Now he knows what to do. But for Ankit Gupta, oh, how the mighty have fallen over here. Ankit clearly not being in his natural element today. And Afnan, the player who was really nervous from the start of the eISL, has gone on to beat the highest goal scorer of the eISL, and that's going to be Ankit Gupta over here. It went down till the extra time, and that is where Afnan finally managed to find this break. But now it comes down to the man who's been the most dependable for SC's Bengal, the man who's consistent, the man who has defeated V Sharma in the past, and it is going to be Ben07. So a lot of pressure on him. Now the question remains, is he going to be solid, or is he going to be brittle and break down, and would be an easy win for FC Goa?
Yeah, and it's going to be a challenge now. I mean, this is the highest pressure that Shayantan has played under so far. I mean, SC's Bengal have never been in trouble. They've never looked, out of contention for that top four. So they've never really felt that pressure on. So it's going to be a challenge, and of course now for FC Goa, because there are no draws in this format. If FC Goa win, that's it. They're through. So through to the next phase, at least, shall we say? But yeah, it's a big moment for Shayantan now to try and see his team through, and of course take us to game 3 of some consequence.
Oh yeah, I mean, that would be so interesting, right? And that is exactly what we would want to see, a game number 3 between them, because come on, it's the playoffs, right? You would not want to see a match ending in an early 2-0 with those individual victories coming out from these lads. But for what we do have for now, entirely, it was Afnan who was showing those attacking instincts. It was just about the closure that he needed to find. I think he's done a really good job at that.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at how even that was. 1.8 xg for both players. Of course, same number of shots taken. But the damning stat over there was the possession
Yeah.
for Afnan. 64%, almost like pretty much double the number of passes that Ankit made as well. And a lot of key interceptions. So clearly not just holding on to and hogging the ball, but winning that ball back proactively. And that's really what has got Afnan the result today. Took a while to get going, took close to 2 hours of in game time to finally get that goal. But it's a big, big moment for him. And V. Sharma now will be looking to capitalize and give us potentially a shock result because we were expecting that SC's Bengal would be the dominant team, but Afnan had clearly other ideas today.
And I
And we do have Afnan here with us to have a chat. Let's head straight over. Oh my goodness, Afnan, what a crazy match that was. I mean, I had to keep myself hydrated throughout. I don't know how you were managing, but very stressful. You had a lot of opportunities early on, which didn't go your way. So how was the game for you?
Yeah, it was very intense. Obviously, it went to extra time. First game of the tournament, which has gone to extra time. Obviously, in the playoffs, this will happen. And,
Yeah.
everyone expected a close game, obviously, because this is playoffs and, no one wants to risk because there are such high stakes on the line. So, it was a very intense game, obviously. 115-minute goal, only 1-0. I think pretty decent performance. It was an equal game. Ankit also had his chances, especially in the 90th minute. I thought, okay, it's done. I've lost the game. But somehow Donnarumma saved it. So, at that time I was very happy. But, it was a decent game, in my opinion, 50-50 game.
So, but now talking about how ideally Ankit Gupta plays, I think you can also agree that this was not the Ankit Gupta that we had seen during the league stages, right? Today he was just trying to build as many plays from those sides, so he's going for those long shots. So, how did you figure out his strat, and what was your counter? Because you were dominating for the most of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I also noticed this in the first 20-30 minutes that he was using a lot of, lob through balls from the wings. So,
Yeah.
like, I figured it out in the 20-30 minutes first of the game. And Vansh also told me that he's using this again and again. So, you just need to track those runs. And, that helped me a lot because I stopped many of his attacks from the wings.
All right. Well, we'll let you get back to your teammate now. Of course, we're looking forward to V Sharma going up against Shantan. So, all the best. Great performance, and yeah, looks like one step closer to progressing in the finals for you.
Yeah, thank you,
Cheers.
guys.
There we go. It's V Sharma now
Hmm.
with the hair slowly starting to grow out, and Shantan now in a little bit. You can see the mood is different across the FC Goa. It's a little more chill. V Sharma knows there's little bit of margin for error for him in case it doesn't work out because FC Goa have been that clutch team when it comes to comes to co-op, and not much to choose between these two players in terms of their skill level. Just a difference of 80 points over there. But Shantan, he's been the guy who's pulled SC's Bengal out of the dumps whenever the chips have been down, and it's time for him to step up again.
Oh yeah, I think he is the only man right now, who is capable of doing it. But we have seen those days where he is kind of messed up under pressure. I think takes me back to that one matchup against ATK Mohan Bagan when it was the Eastern Derby, and that is where we could see those slight hiccups, right? And ideally, he's been in this sort of situations before. Where Ankit Gupta kind of messes up the first game, and he comes up and does the cleaning job, makes sure that gets his team right back in. Especially yesterday, the matchup against Lok Manu and Beno Seven, just going up against Akshay. That was also out of the worlds. Just goal galores coming out here and there. We could see those defensive vulnerabilities, but regardless, they have got that one day just to get over it and fix everything that was wrong in their playing style. So today heading into this matchup. Yes, Beno 7, he's built up on that confidence, but against a player like V Sharma, well, in that last encounter, it was a 3-2 victory for Beno 7, right? That is where we started really applauding his potential, because going up against a player like V Sharma, who's so experienced, who's been in the scene, and getting a win against him, it's never easy. But he's still done that. So, of course, he would be wanting to, put his best foot forward and get that win for SC's Bengal and take his team propelling down to the, propelling up towards that co-op game. Because if FC Goa win this matchup, then it's done.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is sort of reminiscent in many ways to the actual Hero ISL, the first semi-final that we saw, the first leg, Kerala Blasters FC winning their match 1-0, of course, going up against the top team, the fourth place team going up against the top team in Jamshedpur FC over there. And we're sort of seeing that over here. The second leg of that match, of course, is of course going to be played tomorrow, and you can watch that on Star Sports, Disney Hotstar, Geo TV, all of those places. So check that out and mark your calendars. But for today, it's all about the eISL, and now the pressure firmly on Shayantan, I'm Beno 7 and SC East Bengal. Try and get that result. And here we go. The match is ready. And V Sharma will be looking to get the result and close this out for FC Goa.
Oh yes, there we have it. SC's Bengal and Shanted starting from left to right in their signature home jersey. We do have FC Goa, however, in that white from right to left. They might be the away team over here, but they are the team that do have the momentum in their favor, right? But it was of now. Now it's going to be B Sharma, who had been a little bit under the weather, but has made a really promising start over here with Pele making that run. Has to find someone. We know B Sharma is known for this really amazing passes and his shooting accuracy. Can he do that over here? Can he make some magic happen today and make sure the Gors go ahead to the upper bracket finals?
Yeah, and V Sharma sticking with his regular formation and has the goal. Bang! V Sharma straight away gets that goal, and the pressure is on Shayantan, and it looks like Eusebio doesn't quite know where to go to celebrate his goal, but doesn't matter. It's an early goal over there. The gap's there for him to exploit, and that narrow formation for V Sharma, it really suits the play style if he can get that early lead, because then he is so difficult to break down. And great start for him. And you know what? He's a player who has a point to prove against SC East Bengal. First time he played, got smashed 6-0. Second time, lost 3-2. Is it going to be third time lucky for V Sharma?
Clearly he's done his homework, right? Making all those right moves, and this is where experience really comes handy. You know what to do exactly in those pressure situations. But Beno 7 wants to respond back instantly, giving V Sharma no time to breathe. That's a really good pass, but Marquinhos making such an important save for V Sharma over here. And now V Sharma again. I think one thing that FC Goa have done really well, that now even V Sharma is carrying on the helm, is the fact that they've maintained a good decent possession, right? They have been doing that a lot. They've been making sure they head in for those short little passes. They keep the ball as much as they can, try to frustrate their opponents, and somehow, Azim, it's working out.
Yeah, it's working very well. V Sharma being very patient, sort of trying to bait Shayantan into coming in and making that tackle. And here with Pele, V Sharma, not the kind of player who takes long shots. Usually it opens. We've seen those fly in off the right foot of Pele. Going for the chop back over there. I wondered if he was going to go for it with De Bruyne. Kante is not the player you really want to take shots with, but you can see being very calm, very patient over here, waiting for that opportunity, not really rushing it. Just sort of, there you go, enticing Shayantan in there to make those tackles. And this is where V Sharma loves to play in these tight, narrow areas. But this time, Shayantan wins that ball back. And because he has to get so many players back on defense, it's a little difficult for counter-attacking to happen. But a great through ball in behind. And the match is level. A bit of a sucker punch, having been under the cosh for 18-19 minutes. Just a simple lob through ball. And it seems like that is the strategy for SC East Bengal. Just that long ball in behind.
Oh yeah, I think V Sharma at this point has really figured it out, right? What Ankit could not do against Afnan, Shantan has done the same against V Sharma and has made it work. And now we are back to both each a piece. And now we've got to see who manages to score the next one. And I think this is one of those games that we're going to see quite a few goals happening, maybe 3. But for now, V Sharma understanding what Ben07 is up to, and must be, not really pleased with the way he conceded that goal. He could have clearly done better.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's a little difficult to deal with that, just given the pace of the players. And over there, with the shot fake, and well, couldn't quite outmuscle Ruben Diaz over there. But I do feel that one of the things that V Sharma really needs to do, and he could have taken advantage of several times, is that Shantan kept backing off him and allowing him room. And I really think, given how the meta in this game works, you need to make those long range shots your friend. You need to take those shots on, because they do give you such a high percentage to score from them, particularly with these team of the year cards. When you have the likes of De Bruyne in there, when you have the likes of CR7 and Messi available to you, even Pele and R9 for that matter, can get those shots in and not taking those opportunities. And now it looks like Shayantan is the player on top. He gets in with R9. Crucial for V Sharma to defend these properly. You can see he's just blocking off that pass inside. You can see from the player selections that that's the player he had control of. And now looking to get forward, that very, very narrow formation, and getting forward with Cancelo now. Big opportunity. Will he go for a cross? Not quite V Sharma's style to cross the ball either. So it can be a bit limiting the way that he approaches the game. But of course, if you can do that kind of stuff, why do you need to cross? Bang, it goes in. V Sharma has the lead again. Brilliant stuff from the FC Goa boy.
Oh yes, and this is it, right? This is what we have been talking for. This is what we have signed in, and clearly finding that right opportunity, taking this sort of a leap of faith, something similar, which Adi Zima had done a couple of days ago, and managing to find a success from that narrow angle. And FC Goa getting that second goal up. This is all that they needed. But from what we have seen from SCEB Bengal and Shayantan, he's not one of those guys to shy down, right? He's one of those guys who instantly attacks back. So it's going to be interesting what will happen right now. Is V Sharma, all he needs to do right now is just keep on playing the way he has been, right? He's been maintaining possession, he's been ticking all those boxes out. Just a little bit of that sucker punch over there, which I think he's gotten over. But I think he's been looking fairly sound in terms of his defense as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking pretty good for the moment, and seems to be working okay for him. And it's now about Shayantan. Does he show the bravery to go for it right now? Will V Sharma allow him those long balls again? I think he would be better served with... actually, it's a difficult call to make for V Sharma, because playing that high line is what gets him that domination in midfield, which is what he thrives off. And as back, then of course it allows him a lot of space to get counter-attacked on. So now, this is a big opportunity for V Sharma. Can he make this count at the stroke of half-time? The ball not quite good enough. Needed to be a lofted ball over there, because of course the defender would have cut that out. So it is, at the moment, just approaching half-time. 2 minutes of in-game time left to go. It is advantage FC Goa, advantage V Sharma. Clearly no nil-nil fest like the last time we saw. It does look like increasingly likely that this game will be settled in the regulation 90 minutes. But of course, anything can happen. In any case, we do see now Pele getting into the box with R9 over there, and just about surviving is V Sharma. And there we go, it's half time. So you'd have to say a fairly good half for FC Goa, and V Sharma over there getting the job done. And he'll be pretty pleased with that. He's managed to get that lead. I mean, that's really all you can do at this point, just getting and hanging on to that lead. And well, he's managed to do the job and get that goal that he really needed.
Oh yeah, and the way things have been going on, I think SCEB Bengal, they've got their backs against the wall, but this is a true test of their potential. What they can do around here. But yeah, Azim, so far so good. Goa really solid for all the viewers out there. If FC Goa win this matchup, right, in this matchup over here, all done and done. They are just going to be playing a co-op game just for fun. And for SCEB Bengal, well, Azim, they would have to be thwarted down to the lower bracket. Now, this is something that Bengal have really not been to be. Haven't really had a lot of pressure in all their 20 games that they had played in the past, but today this is the magic about these playoffs, right? Anything and go wrong does happen, but Sharma, a little bit of a chance that was being created has been well dealt with by SCs. We are into the second half. See what they can do.
Yeah, and again, you could see over there that it was Shantan looking for that long ball in behind. But the moment that ball reached Hullet, you could see V Sharma using that manual switching, immediately taking control of his defenders to get them tracking back. So clearly now he's got an idea of how to handle it. And now it's got to be the double bluff from Shantan. You know, when he's got control of those rear defenders, that's when he needs to do something with the midfielders on the ball and needs to try and survive this attack over here. It is it's getting increasingly more and more nervy right now for Shayantan, particularly in defense, because he knows one more goal conceded and that could be lights out. And now P. Sharma doing his best to just send those attackers away from goal, force him to attack through the middle where all the bodies and reinforcements are. And we may well see us having to switch to that 4-2-3-1 system to counter the attack if Shayantan decides to get the fullbacks involved.
Oh yeah, I think this is going to be really interesting affair. You know what they're gonna do out from over here, and of course Ante V Sharma has been looking really good today, the way he's been playing, and with Pele, he's trying to get in from that right, passes it on back towards Kante again. Typical stuff that we've witnessed all along with Kevin De Bruyne. We have seen those long-range shots being taken and going through, but there is not enough space, not enough room for him to try and go for a shot like that. V Sharma is one very technically gifted player. You know, he has got mechanics right. He knows how to control those ball, get that little bit of a flick, get that little bit of a fake shot being taken, and he's managed to score goals out of that. So we've got to see if he can pull off something like that, because at this point, one more goal, if FC Goa score at this point, it is done and dusted for SC.
Yeah, absolutely. Still time though. Still about 25 minutes on the clock for Shantan to do something about it. And this time he's got it. It is onside. It's about 1v1 over there. And this time the battle is won by Shantan. The offside trap not working for V Sharma, and we are dead level again. 25 minutes to play. The momentum with SC's Bengal. I mean, this could really go either way right now. It looked like V Sharma was on top, but now suddenly it swings back in the favor of Shantan, who again knocks at the door and makes it count, beating him one-on-one over there. And that instinctive finishing that we've seen from Shantan, particularly in the second half of this tournament, it continues. Yeah, and we do see now KDB getting involved over here. We see that it is Kante on the ball. Will V Sharma look for that long ball in behind? Genuinely doesn't seem to want to play long balls or take long shots, V Sharma. And now, again, could potentially have had that opportunity to get the ball in with Eusebio this time. And now with Mbappe, and a little needed to be a little bit more intricate than that, just trying to put a ball through a place where three defenders were. Now we see that it is Mbappe on the ball, and of course Shantan in the ascendancy, and now the nerves will be creeping in for V Sharma, of course, because he's got to keep attacking, and he's going to keep seeing Shantan coming back. It's about finding that balance. How much do you keep attacking? How much bravery do you show over here? He wins that ball back, gets on that attack immediately, and what's he going to do? No long ball plans for V Sharma. He gets KDB involved, and he has the way that he wants to play, a purist, shall we say, of the game, and that's exactly how he's going to keep approaching it this time with R9. Now to Eusebio, and passing very nicely, very intricately, and again, this time it might fall for him with Eusebio. Will he take the shot? He gets away from one defender. Now with KDB, goes for that chop back, threatening to take the shot. Now R9, will he go for goal over here? Has the cutback available if he can find it to Mbappe, and it is in. 3-2 for V Sharma and FC Goa right there.
Oh, look at him go. V Sharma, he has no intentions of walking away with any sort of draw whatsoever, does not want to push it to extra time. The man has done it. The right amount of hydration is all that's needed because he is absolutely pumped up. Sheer quality of that goal, that last moment volley and then just cutting it in to the back of the nets. You've got to give it to this man, just finding that little bit of a gap over there and taking the chance when it was much needed. Clearly showing that he is Bengal haven't really woken up the right side of their beds, and FC Goa, getting every bit of that revenge that they can get. V Sharma, it was a 6-0 defeat to Ankit Gupta. It was a 3-2 defeat against Shayanthan, but today he seems to have done it. Or maybe I'm just stepping on the gun really quickly because we still do have 8 minutes ready to go.
Yeah, and now it's going to be all guns blazing for Shanthan over here. But will V Sharma be able to finish this off? Of course, it's 4v4 over here. Will V Sharma show the bravery to go for that goal? I think he's just see that ball out. His formation is made for possession, but not if you give that ball away. I mean, I would have just taken a foul over there and just got my defense back on track. But V Sharma has to defend, and Ruben Diaz does the G. It's a foul over there, or it's not. The referee plays the advantage on, and it's getting nervy over here for V Sharma. It's really last-ditch stuff with Hull. Tries to go around the keeper, Donnarumma. It's Van der Sar, in fact, who does the job over there. And now it's the kitchen sink being thrown. 9 players in attack. And the finish shot pulled out of the corner. Van der Sar, you beauty. FC Goa survived.
Oh my goodness, this is just getting so much more intense, Tainted putting everything that he could really put out nowhere. He's doing it all. I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if he gets his keeper ahead, for Christ's sake. He's gone full ultra attack. He knows this is this one attack that will only matter with Mbappe. All V Sharma needs to do is make that right interception up, and it's down to the next corner. Let's see what can SC Bengal make out of this, with Kante passing on towards Marquinhos, not the best man you would want to have in this particular situation. Marquinhos from V Sharma getting the job done, and this is it, ladies and gentlemen. FC Goa, courtesy to those final minutes, a winner from V Sharma. This was such a close encounter, and well, they have done it. First team to make it to the upper bracket finals. And here they are. Can we have some scores in the chat, please?
Oh yes, they've done it and proven again that they are the team for the big game. They are the clutch kings. When the chips are down, FC Goa, that's when they come to town. And they have pulled it out. Afnan with that extra time winner against Ankit Gupta. And in the 85th minute, V Sharma getting that goal, making the pressure count, and then seeing off that absolute onslaught at the end from Shem. I think both FC Goa boys have their keepers to thank for getting them those results, but they'll take it. I think richly deserved for both players.
Oh yeah, I think at this point, hats off to the way they've been playing, especially Afnan being one of those players who has emerged, going up against Ankit. Getting that win is never so easy, and he's one of the few who has done that. He's defeated him, but this matchup between V Sharma and Beno 7, you've got to feel bad for Panther also at a certain point, right? He put everything that he could do on the line, but down. What do you think really was missing from Shantans today? Why do you think could he not close it out?
I just think V Sharma made it really difficult for him to try and play his game. I think for both of the SCs Bengal boys throughout the season, I think, and I did mention this yesterday as well, that throughout the season, I think since they've been that top team, a lot of other opponents have shown them a lot of respect. They've shown them maybe too much respect at times. But FC Goa came into this game wanting to play on that front foot, wanting to take control and take charge, and keeping SC's Bengal throughout, and that's really what's made the difference. No real major chances. I think only 2 chances for Shanthan in that game, coming from a few slip-ups in midfield. But of course, then finally had the opportunities late on as well. You could see this one, and of course that winning goal on the 80th minute mark over there for V Sharma. The composure over there to just volley that across. I wonder if it took a slight deflection on the way as well. And that was a huge, huge, huge moment.
Now that is exactly what they needed, right? And you could clearly see, you know, he- uh, Ben tried it all. Look at how cagey and close this match was. Completely different from the statistics of the first game, right? The possession being so dominated by Afnan, but in this one, Ben 7 was nowhere lagging behind, making sure that he could do whatever it takes to get the job done. But maybe it was not enough. Look at the passes, just the extra 2 passes for FC Goa. That's it. Even in terms of expected goals, not a lot of difference. Equal number of shots taken. So clearly could see that and say that it's just that V Sharma was the better player today in the evening.
Yeah, absolutely. And only one save made by the keeper in the entire game across both keepers, and that was that one which was just pulled out of the top corner by Van der Sar in pretty much the last minute of the game. But yeah, there you have it. It is, well, we know for sure that FC Goa are going to make it now to the upper bracket finals. Who they'll be facing over there, of course, still remains to be seen. And also that gives FC Goa that a second or potentially even third chance. If they lose that game, they have that opportunity to get back in. But there is an opportunity for all of you guys who are interested in the world of NFL to check out Terra Virtua, which is of course an entertainment-based metaverse platform. And if you're into particularly the Hero ISL, you can find a lot of the ISL moments, mascots, trading cards, all that kind of fun stuff. So check it all out right now.
All right. I mean, it's been such a long journey, right, for the boys, both for FC Goa and SC East Bengal. 4 months, and now it's all come down to this. Clearly, SC East Bengal being ported down to the lower bracket finals. But before we do have the co-op game started, we do have a special video being made showcasing SC East Bengal's journey in the eISL.
अब तक का एक्सपीरियंस यहाँ पे काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग रहा है. आई नो शुभम एंड फ्यू ऑफ देम, बट गेटिंग टू नो अदर प्लेयर्स एज वेल, इट्स अ गुड एक्सपीरियंस.
ये काफ़ी अच्छा गया है क्योंकि मैं जब पहले आया था तो किसी को जानता नहीं था. नाउ आई नो मोस्ट ऑफ देम वेल.
My first match, like whatever match I have played, has always been high scoring game.
मेरा फर्स्ट गेम जो था अगेंस्ट केटी, तो वो गेम काफ़ी अच्छा था. फिर उसके बाद मेरा फॉर्म थोड़ा डाउन हो गया क्योंकि मैं काफ़ी सारे चेंजेस कर रहा था कैमरा को लेके, गेम स्टाइल को लेके. बट देन आई कम बैक टू द बेसिक्स. देन आई स्टार्ट द मोमेंटम एंड वन फ्यू गेम्स.
I have been knowing DK since a very long time. I have played against him like so many times, so I knew how his game plan is. So I knew how to counter it. He knew mine. I was pretty confident that I'll get it. So I did not expect to score 6 goals, but I was pretty sure that I'm gonna win this game. I have to win this game anyhow. And the goals started flowing. I couldn't stop it. The one match I feel was versus Vansh.
The perfect time for FC Goa to start building up that lead, and it was such a fantastic start to the evening for them. But things start looking trembling down as one of their best players, or rather the best player, V Sharma, he's struggling. But again, Ankit Gupta has taken him for a ride, and again nets one more. It's 6-0.
I was mentally focused in that game because Goa was on top. They had a different pressure to stay on top, but for us it was like it's time to climb up. And to play against Vansh, I was pretty confident that I have played against him.
काफ़ी 1v1 खेलते हैं तो वहाँ पे हम लोग देखते हैं कि वो कहाँ पे गलती करता है. अंकित देखता है कि मैं कहाँ पे गलती कर रहा हूँ, तो उस हिसाब से हम लोग बोलते हैं कि हाँ इसके अगेंस्ट मेरे को ऐसे खेलना है, उसके अगेंस्ट ऐसे खेलना है। इन जनरल सब मैच देखता हूँ और सब गेम को स्टडी करता हूँ कि नहीं इसके साथ ऐसा खेलना चाहिए, इसके साथ लाइक थोड़ा वाइड खेलना चाहिए कि तो थोड़ा लाइक नैरो खेलना चाहिए।
We hope so that making to the top is what we are here for. We want to win it. We want to finish in top 2, not even top 4. I know it's a big thing, but we'll try our best. I don't want to jinx anything, but this is what we are looking for.
जब पहले आया था तो इतना एक्सपेक्टेशन लेके नहीं आया था कि ना ये मेरे को इतना बड़ा इवेंट है तो खेलना है, आगे जाके देखूंगा कि कैसा हो रहा है, क्योंकि लाइक ये जो सिस्टम है, ये जो फॉर्मेट है, ये बहुत नया है, तो उस हिसाब से मेरा कोई ऐसा कोई प्लान नहीं था। तो अभी हम लोग टॉप पे हैं, तो देखते हैं आगे क्या होता है। आई थिंक माई गेम अगेंस्ट अरविंद मास, आई थिंक वो गेम में मैं काफ़ी अच्छा खेला, आई वॉन 5-1। सो आई थिंक वो गेम मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छा है, क्योंकि मैं जो कर रहा था वो हर कुछ चीज़ हो रहा था गेम में। सो एंड वी वन 3 पॉइंट्स, सो इट्स अ वेरी गुड गेम फॉर मी।
जैसे मैं बताया था कि मैं वंश के अगेंस्ट मैच काफ़ी बेस्ट मैच था मेरा, बट मेरे लिए मेमोरेबल मैच था जमशेदपुर के अगेंस्ट आकाश आष्टे। मैं 2-0 डाउन था, वहाँ से मैं 19 मार के 3-2 कम बैक किया था। और पर्सनली ऐसे मेरे डैड का फ़ोन आया था, बोला कि व्हाट अ गेम, आई एम प्राउड ऑफ यू करके। तो वो काफ़ी एकदम इमोशनल फीलिंग हो गया था, एंड आई वाज रियली हैप्पी कि मेरे डैड देख रहे थे, और ये एक हिसाब से मेरे लिए काफ़ी मेमोरेबल हो गया ये। आई थिंक ये टूर्नामेंट में नए लोग की आइडियाज़ देखे जा रहे हैं, नए लोग के बॉन्डिंग्स देखे जा रहे हैं। ये काफ़ी लाइफ टाइम तक रहने वाला है। ये मेमोरीज हम लोग हमेशा चेरिश करेंगे कि अरे 4 महीना बबल में थे हम लोग। इट्स अ बिग थिंग टू डू इट, एंड ये सब यादें काफ़ी याद आएगी, आप बोल सकते हो इस चीज़ को लेके।
So much to take away from this entire journey, right? So many matches, but clearly, as you could see, we could see those glimpses of those past matches. But today was an entirely different affair, Azim. Today was an entirely different SC Bengal. We were playing. It felt as if we were seeing a new nervy SCS Bengal. First time under pressure, and it kind of caught on to them, and from here onwards being pushed back to the lower brackets. Now this is for all the new viewers out there, right? Only one more chance remains. SC Bengal is still not out of contention, but now they cannot afford to lose even a single game, because now they've been pushed to the lower brackets. It's all about survival for them, but for not for these guys, so because they've made it to the upper bracket finals, and we know they've been one of the best teams in the co-op games, but have been defeated in the past by SC Bengal in their co-op. So another thing to really fight for SC Bengal is Ankit Gupta trying to score those goals to increase his MVP tally, because his game was completely goalless. So this sort of gives a very good room and opportunity for both Naveen and Saranj to really catch up to him.
Yeah, and of course the unfortunate part for Ankit Gupta is that goals scored in co-op matches do not count in the MVP stakes.
Oh.
So it has to be in your individual game, which of course he failed to do today. And we're going to be still playing game 3. It's a bit of a dead rubber right now. We could say it's being played a little bit for fun. I'm not sure it's going to be too much fun for SC's Bengal, who will still be sort of wallowing in that defeat over there. But for FC Goa, they got the job done. Usually they've had to rely on that co-op. And had this been a regular league stage game, this game 3 would still have gone to co-op because it was a tie between Ankit Gupta and Afnan, as it was at the 90-minute mark. Then that would of course have counted as a draw, and FC Goa would still need to not lose this game to get the 3 points. But now they can relax, they can chill out, they can make some good Saturday night plans, of course, because their next match will be on the 19th next weekend, of course, coinciding with all that, a big weekend for everything that's happening in the Hero ISL and the eISL. So of course, mark your calendars for that. A great weekend for sports for everyone to look forward to over there. A lot of big matches in the eISL, the Hero ISL, across all different sporting leagues and sports. So a massive weekend coming up. But now focus is on the two players, and you can see the difference. A lot of looking very calm and chilled out on the FC Goa bench, and the heads slightly dropping for SC's Bengal. And you know what they say, it's that quote. I mean, the higher you fly, the harder you fall.
Yeah, I think it all comes down. It all is turning true. All their fears, you know, but yeah, at the same time, this little slump for SC Bengal at this point, because they've been, yesterday also they lost to Kerala Blasters FC in what was an absolutely bizarre match. So many goals were being scored from both these sides, but still a loss is a loss, right? And we suddenly started to think maybe they're kind of losing out on the edge, because look at FC Goa go. They found that perfect break, but getting the keeper ahead, Bandasa making that lunge over there, making sure he's got the ball safe and sound, as now FC Goa have managed to steal it back.
Yeah, it clearly looks like. Oh my goodness, went for the shot when he actually could have gone for the pass over there. But SC's Bengal, yeah, it doesn't. They're looking quite rattled at the beginning, and the confidence absolutely flowing through FC Goa over here. And I wonder if we're going to see a complete whitewash over here. It does look like FC Goa really mean business, and of course they'll be taking this seriously, because it's good practice for co-op in that land environment. Would be fun if we get to see a few goals, potentially get to see extra time penalty shootout. But then those long balls played in behind, and then the chip off the crossbar. You know what? When it's not your day, it's just not your day.
Yeah, I think like we said, right? Lady Luck is not in the favor today. But they need to just forget this night, whatever has happened the entire day. The boys clearly understanding, these sort of shots. Ideally, Ankit Gupta or even Beno 7, they do not miss it on any normal occasion, right? So they haven't done that in the past. Most of the time it used to go in. We used to see a lot of baffling goals, but today's things are not working out the way they want to. Went into that little bit of a lobbed chip pass, but did not work out. Goalkeeper collecting it safely over here, as FC Goa are back on their attack, trying to build up possession, but were really denied. But what we can see is, SC's Bengal, they've got a bit of a change over. They're playing Puskas, a player that we haven't really seen quite often, being one of those meta picks.
Yeah, and we do see a Cruyff in there for FC Goa as well. I think Cruyff has been a player that has been favored quite a bit by V Sharma, even after those title update meta changes with all the team of the year cards being available. We did see Puskas appearing briefly yesterday, and oh my goodness, going for that shot straight away, the long range shot, going for power rather than finesse over there. But the keeper quite easily able to handle that. Now we can see the defenders just playing it around, just slowing the pace down a little bit. FC Goa, no real urgency for them. They did start the game looking very attacking and aggressive, but now they'll just be looking to consolidate, and as I said, treat this as a dress rehearsal for that upper bracket final, where well, I don't think it's going to be quite as straightforward as it was today.
Oh yeah, the next matchup is going to be an absolute clacker. But for now, this could be a really good chance for FC Goa, with Ronaldo has to take that shot. No, just barely missing it out, as SC's Bengal, now they're on a counter-attack of their own with Puskas. They need more men, and now slowly having the numbers coming up. SC's Bengal pacing in through that right wing a little bit. Hullet to Maradona. Really a lot of different players being bought up by SC Bengal, Maradona, again, one of those player cards that we had seen in the initial few days of the eISL, and then later on a few players just used it, as a substitute coming in. But FC Goa with Kante passing on towards Hullet, gives it back towards Kante. They have to figure some way out over here to get the job done, and they're doing exactly what they were doing in their individual games, right? Trying to keep those possession up, making those right passes all the time, trying to get the better out of SC Bengal. This could have been a really good break for SC Bengal, but no, not happening.
Yeah, SC Bengal seem to be just a little bit out of ideas today, particularly Ankit Gupta. I mean, for a player who's been one of the most shall we say, innovative players in the last eISL, I mean, the entire league stages that we've seen. Surprising lack of ideas available for him, but here's an idea for you on the 15th of March, 7:30 p.m. of course tomorrow. the second leg of the Hero ISL finals over there to be played between Kerala Blasters and Jamshedpur FC. Kerala Blasters holding that slender one-goal lead against the winners of that Hero ISL Shield, and the cross comes in this time, but dealt with. You have to wonder if it was CR7 in there,
Yeah.
would that have been a different outcome?
Yeah, that certainly could have been it, right? That certainly could have done the job. We've seen Cruyff, he's got that little bit of a pace over there, gets in, has got really good finishing traits. But this time, I'm liking it. I'm liking what FC Goa are putting on the table. A plethora of attacks, various modifications being made. They're not putting the same old tactics to get in from the centers, but rather you also using the wings over there. So really, commends to them. But for now, of course, FC Goa, I must still say, they've been the better team even in the first half, but not really reflected in terms of the goals having been scored. Now, for the viewers out there, of course, this match is sort of done and dusted. No matter whatever the outcome is, the result still stands true. It's FC Goa that have managed to beat SC East Bengal fair and square. As the next encounter, that is going to be really spicy. Chennai FC going up against Mumbai City FC. Now, talk about a matchup, but here we could have actually seen a chance being created for FC Goa, still in contention though, but finally thwarted off.
Yeah, again, that unwillingness to take the long shot still keeps baffling me for FC Goa, uh, particularly given the fact that SC East Bengal have really been standing off them and almost encouraging them to take their shots, or maybe they're just absolutely completely confident that when V Sharma is on the ball, that shot is just not going to be coming in. Now with Zidane on the ball over there, could have done maybe a little bit better, but now FC Goa won't have the opportunity to counter attack. Still 0-0 at half time. And of course, a bit of a dead rubber game. This we do know that FC Goa have managed to win this by virtue of winning the two individual games. But now it's just a matter of pride for SC East Bengal and just hoping to keep that momentum their way over here. I think this was like an easy opportunity to just slide it across to Cruyff for a finish, and over there, I think a little bit of a laugh exchange, saying, "Okay, you know what? Since we're through today, I'll forgive you for wanting to go for goal, but wanting to chase that hero of the match award of none over there." But well, there you go. It didn't quite work out for him.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, really, because the way they've been playing FC Goa, it's all okay, right? Even if they lose this matchup, does not really change any outcome, does not change anything at all. For SC East Bengal, both these teams, in fact, FC Goa just making sure that they get some practice before they head in to the upper bracket finals. You never know, the co-op game then could be the decider, but we do have some changes being made by the Gores. We do have Ronaldinho being brought up, so it's going to be really interesting as to what they're going to be putting on the table right now.
Of course, Ronaldinho does give you very, very good dribbling attributes, lots of agility in there, and quite a physical player also. And will be interesting to see how they decide to use him. Using him as that central striker, we've seen Mufu, of course, who was, I would say, I mean, not even a fan. I think a fan would be putting it lightly, almost a propagandist for for Ronaldinho in the eISL with all his matches, refusing to start any game without his affectionately known Dino. And there we go. What's it going to be? Is it going to be Dino striking? No, it's going to be a corner. And well, FC Goa have the opportunity here. Will we see? Well, Van der Sar is out of goal, but not out enough to think about going for that direct shot. And it's going to be a near post cross in, and a little bit too much whip on that ball. And of course, the player movement was a little bit too early. And now on that counter attack, it's really been counter attack only for SC East Bengal today. It just feels like they've been very, very nervy, very tentative. The pressure has got to them just a little bit, but given the double elimination format, the nature of it is that it allows you the buffer of that one game to just shake those nerves out of your system and then just go on that rampaging run against all odds to potentially get yourself back into that final.
Oh yeah, I mean, at this point, uh, I really want to see someone score a goal, for Christ's sake, because it's been such a close affair. Makes me feel as if this match really counts. But at this point, I think FC Goa are playing pretty chilled. They're making those Ronaldo plays coming out. At a certain point, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be going for those dribbles. Everything that they can do. This is what I was talking about. Try to create a few for the highlight reels. But we're gonna see more of that. But this is where SC Bengal need to understand that FC Goa, they're not playing at the natural element. They're just here to have a little bit of fun. So this is where they could actually try to get serious and score, right? And this could be a possible good break. Goes for that chip shot, but Bandits are so well prepared. Did not even break a sweat.
Yeah, you could see over there as the ball came back, there was that little chop back using Hullet, who's actually been pretty handy with those long range finesse shots as well. We did see that one from Shayantan just pulled out at the last moment by the keeper, and also would make you wonder, do they have access to that further upgraded prime moments Van der Sar? Is that the reason why that shot got pulled out? And now getting into the box, still the ball will remain with FC Goa. They'll want to try to wrap this up within the 90 minutes, I'm sure. Or maybe they just want to give us a penalty shootout just for fun to see how long they can keep going. But good touch over there to get away from the defender from Pele. Feeds it into R9. Surely a goal this time. And SC's Bengal have it back. A little bit lax on defense over there, you would have to say.
Yeah.
And the job done. And well, actually, I do think this is the new Ronaldo. It is the new R9 because it's got the 2002 haircut, shall we say. So yeah, potentially that those few added stats that have been added to these prime moments icons. Yeah, it is the 97 rated Ronaldo. So clearly does look like all the accounts have been updated with those new icons, and that also explains just how good that Van der Sar card is, and he's going to be at his best to try and keep that out, but he can't. It's a beautiful chipped goal, and where was this SC East Bengal for those first two matches when it counted?
Yeah, exactly. This is something that I've been talking about. These are the kind of plays that their opponents really fear, right? This is what they've been known for. And when, this is something that even Lokman, you clearly pointed out, right? They're known for their unorthodox plays, especially Ankit Gupta. And in fact, he was so conscious today, right? He felt that, he had to make all the right passes, get in and try and score. But had he just relied on his pure instincts, gone for those crazy little shots that he goes for, could have been a different story altogether. But now this is again a beautiful chance created for FC Goa. Shot being taken, a little bit of a scuffle there, but it's fine. Threat has been dealt with as SC Bengal. They were looking to get on attack, but Cancelo coming a little bit ahead. And there you can see all those sliding tackles being made. A lot of ruckus being caused, and somehow SC Bengal have managed to win the ball.
Yeah, for a moment, for the last 30 seconds, it looked like we were watching a Division 10 Division Rivals match over there. Just players all over the place. Is it going to be 3-0? You bet it is. It is that third goal for SC East Bengal. So they can take the bragging rights away from this. I think FC Goa had just switched off a little bit, particularly in the second half. And I think they were just, at one point, they were just like, you know what, we don't want to play extra time. It's a Saturday night. We want to go out and try to have some fun, and it does look like it's going to work over there. And that chipped goal from Pele over there also showing you the benefits of that new upgraded 99 rated Pele card over there. What I would give to have my hands on one of those for my own ultimate team, and a fitting day for them to get these cards available to them, given it that it is the birthday technically of the FUT, the FIFA Ultimate Team mode within the game, which is the mode in which the eISL is of course played. So good day for FC Goa. You'd have to say not the best game over here, but I think mentally they were already in that upper berth final before this game kicked off.
Yeah, I think this is not going to affect them a lot. I think they're still keeping some of their co-op tricks up their sleeves, something for the upper bracket finals maybe. I think that's where they're going to need it. But if they can manage to see things through just with their individual games, then I'm not going to be complaining, right? Maybe might as well throw all your co-ops. So that's completely okay. But this is where they're going to be searching for a little bit of redemption. Getting back at least a 3-1 scoreline would look better for them. But it's fine. It's fine. Just for 5 more minutes remaining, FC Goa, they're really happy about how they've performed today, and yeah, it's on 19th where we're gonna see them next. But for the next matchup, I'm getting so hyped up. Mumbai City and Chennai and FC. Now these are the two clubs that you could say it could be a really cagey affair. Initially, when we came into this matchup, we thought this could be something really easy for SC's Bengal, considering FC Goa was having a little bit of a lapse in form. But it was a completely different story, and even in the going into the next matchup, there are no clear favorites. It could be possibly anybody's game. It could be just coming down to the fact who's going to make the least number of mistakes, right? And how they're going to be capitalized. With that being said, we've already reached that full-time whistle marker. It's an 3-0 win for SC Bengal in the co-op game, but nothing really gets reflected, or it does not help them in any matter whatsoever, because earlier on those co-op games could have come really handy had any of those teams ended up in similar points. But here it's all about double elimination format. You either win or you go home. So of course FC Goa, they've crossed that first very important hurdle. So let's see. I mean, there could be a point where FC Goa and SC Bengal maybe meet in the potential future if they kind of lose their matchup in upper bracket finals and then go on to play the lower bracket finals again against SC Bengal if SC Bengal manage to win their next matchup. So a lot of calculations, a lot of things being done, but clearly for the first matchup, the first picture that we had, FC Goa being our victors.
Yep, getting the job done over there, playing that co-op game with a smile on their face, although a smile that would have slightly reduced having seen that 3-0 scoreline. Shall we say, didn't work out too well for them. A lot of opportunities for FC Goa to score, particularly in that first half, but not really able to take them. This one particularly, just trying to get through two defenders, and but you could see that SC's Bengal played with that little bit more intensity in that second half, whereas FC Goa mentally had just potentially switched off. I think after the first goal was conceded, you really need to be playing in a intense frame of mind to go chasing a game when you're a goal down, and keep defending with that same focus while you attack. And clearly that was not there for FC Goa, but of course it does not matter. At the end, you can see it didn't really matter to SC's Bengal either, getting those goals, no real reaction from them. And this chip finish, really nice goal. And well, one for the highlights reel, if nothing else.
Yeah, just another thing that really popped up in my mind. It's a guaranteed top 3 finish for the Gors, right? FC Goa ensuring this victory. No matter what happens, they have secured that third spot intact for them. So that's something that they can take home, along with some hefty amount of prize money guaranteed for them. But yeah, the stats here not really mattering a lot, because whatever or in whichever way the course went, this entire game panned out to be, it was still FC Goa's games, right? In a little bit of a few couple of minutes, we're gonna have this confirmation right in front, where it's gonna be officially announced by our production. But regardless, I think it was a very good day in the office for FC Goa. I think they've done their homework really well, and one of those reasons was is SC Bengal being the soft target, staying on the top. A lot of teams will do their research, and they finally managed to penetrate through what they intended to do. And there you go, the final scorecard coming out, and clearly shows that FC Goa have managed to win this game with an overall match scoreline of 2-1.
Yep, there you go. And I think, of course, the scouting and seeing and finding SC's Bengal's weaknesses is definitely a part of it. And also, you have to admire the way both Afnan and V Sharma adapted their game to counter the things that SC's Bengal were doing, because it did look like SC's Bengal's tactics were just sort of to just go for that long ball in behind, and once bitten, twice shy. But you can see, of course, let's find out who the hero of the match is. I don't think there'll be any major surprises. Should be a guy with a little bit of long hair. There you go. It is V Sharma with the 3 goals. getting the job done. A very, very big performance from him, and of course, he finds himself now in those upper berth finals.
Oh yeah, and this is exactly the kind of a play that you would need from this player, right? At the right moment when it all matters, he stepped up. Clearly shows that he's a big game player, right? When it all comes down to him, there was a certain time, there was a certain phase where V Sharma was not getting through with his games, where Afnan was the one who was holding on to the deck, and today. Afnan also did his job perfectly fine. In fact, won the match, which would be on any other day really, really impossible, but still managed to win it. It was such a gruesome match. Went till that 115 minutes where he found that one opening that was all needed, and that was all there to seal it off.
Yeah, and of course, let's see now which is our Terra Virtua super moment of the match. Quite a few moments to choose from. Could have been Afnan's winner, but I think, yes, we have gone with that winning goal for V Sharma. You have to really admire the patience with which he built up over here. He sort of did that little chop back with De Bruyne over there to pretend like he's going for the long range shot, and there patiently building up, beating his man, and then with the volley getting that job done. And a huge moment over there, 80-minute mark, and then really sitting out defensively and surviving that onslaught from Chanton over those last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think clearly even Shantan, nothing taken away from him. I think he was still in his very natural element. Every single time he was conceding a goal, he responded with one, but towards the end a little bit unlucky. But things could have been completely different. But let's take a look at the brackets as they have been finally updated over here. As FC Goa, like you can see, they've headed into the upper bracket finale. And they're going to be facing whoever is the winner of our second game that we have just a few minutes after this. Chennai FC going up against Mumbai City FC, of course. SCEB Bengal have been pushed down to that lower bracket, and they're going to be facing anyone in an elimination matchup against whoever is the loser between the matchup between Chennai FC and Mumbai City FC. So that is also going to be interesting, but everything aside, we do have our own Indian David Beckham waiting for us in the studio. Let's head in over to V Sharma. And V Sharma, when it all mattered, you did come through. Tell us something about all your preparations that you had to do to go up and beat SC Bengal.
Like, we were looking forward for this matchup. It was the day one of playoffs, and as we have been beaten twice by SCS Bengal, we were a little bit scared, but we were pretty confident. We did our research, and as you saw, Afnan played with Ankit, and I played with Shantan, and Afnan told me that he's pretty confident going against Ankit. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take on Shantan. So that was all the preparations we did.
Yeah, but of course, you guys, I think, had to rely on both your goalkeepers for a few last-ditch saves. Donnarumma with one over there, and Van der Sar. Was that the prime moments, Van der Sar, that pulled out the save?
No, it was the mid one. I prefer the mid one. He always saves for me.
Alright, fair enough.
But V Sharma, we can see all these new cards that are coming up, right? So technically, in even the co-op game, we weren't really seeing a lot coming out from you. Are you still having a few secret cards, a few secret tactics that is saving up for your upper bracket finals?
Yes, of course, we are as I said in my last interview, we are still brushing off our co-op. We are still practicing, but today we didn't play to our top element. But of course, we are pretty confident in our co-op game in the upper bracket.
Yeah, well, we'll be looking forward to watching whoever you face next. So, of course, it's between Chennai FC and Mumbai City FC. Mumbai City said that they wanted to play you guys in the finals. So, are you? Which one would you prefer out of those two?
Yes, of course, Mumbai. I'll prefer Mumbai.
So game on it is, and this was such an amazing win. I think it's time for you guys to head out and party because you've got a game after quite some time. So all the best for your next matchup, buddy.
Thank you so much.
So laid back, he's got to do that for all the ladies out there. You can directly slide into his DMs. So, but regardless, Azim, I mean, very calm, very composed. He was here to win. And I really like the fact that he stated it out. Afnan feeling confident against Ankit Gupta, because he's done that in the past. He held him to a draw. I think that was their initial motive, right? Hold Ankit Gupta to a draw and then try to win the second matchup, or maybe go off against them in the co-op, right? To settle things down. But that was not necessary after all, because Mr. Afnan did come through. He's done that for his team. FC Goa have been the winners of the first game of our playoffs.
Yeah, a lot of supremely interesting and exciting moments today in our eISL. Well, the first final, but of course, if you want your own hero ISL moments, which can be owned exclusively by you in NFT form, you can head over to Terra Virtua and check all of that stuff out.
All right, that was some really interesting stuff out there. I'm going to be looking at, how that NFT of the player by Terra Virtue for the MVP would be, because it has been looking so great. But again, that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with our first game of the evening, right? Before we head out, a huge shout out to all our sponsors, as the eISL is powered by Coca-Cola, our associate sponsors Hero, esports partners Nodwin Gaming, our platform partners PlayStation, and our digital collectibles partners Terra Virtua, making this event happen. And well, game number 1 is finally done and dusted. If you're enjoying it, do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button, because after this we're gonna have such an amazing matchup, Chennai FC going up against Mumbai City FC. But before that, I think Azim, you and I, we both need a little bit of a breather, so we're gonna be after this short break.